women in politics,
Great.
especially the context of Sri Lanka.
Great.
And we are lacking and we are behind of representation of women in politics right now.
Women should be in positions of leadership because any leaders should look like and represent the very populations that they serve.
Be one female politician all over the world who you would pick and tell that she inspires you a lot.
Oh, and here I would offer that my friend Julie Chung, the ambassador to Sri Lanka, the U.S. ambassador to Sri Lanka, is a woman.
Women in politics,
Great.
especially the context of Sri Lanka.
Great.
And we are having little two questions.
Sure.
And hope you will like those and have very nice, inspiring answers, and which we can be inspired from you.
Great.
So, in Sri Lanka, currently we are facing a lot of economic crisis and also issues related to politics. And we are lacking and we are behind of representation of women in politics right now. So, what do you think? Why women should be involved in politics, especially in Sri Lanka? And what are your feelings? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. Thank you for the opportunity. It's a real honor to be here to meet you, talk to your audience. Look, women should be in positions of leadership because any leaders should look like and represent the very populations that they serve. And with women being such a big part of the population, leading in every other sector, we need to make sure that that's true in government as well. That's true in Sri Lanka, that's true in the United States, and that's true all over the world. I think we often find that constituencies and publics are responsive to their leaders. And if we want to have policies and regulations and legislation that serve people and that are done in the interest of people, we need to make sure that women are representing women are listening to other women. And women have, I think, in particular, a very unique convening power. I have found in my own travels around the world that getting in a room with women led by women often leads to discussions that are lacking in public discourse. We have a lot to learn from each other, and I think women have a really unique opportunity to lead in this way.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Hi Liz, hi again. And I think in Sri Lanka we always speak a lot about women representation.
Yeah.
We have, for local government authorities, we have quota system where we want to include more women. We like to see a lot of women leaders coming up in politics. My question to you would be, one female politician all over the world who you would pick and tell that she inspires you a lot.
Oh, well, I'm so glad you asked. Let me just say, to the premise of your question, data absolutely shows and anecdotes show that when more women are in power, we see more effective economic outcomes, more effective security outcomes, more effective humanitarian and democratic values outcomes. So it's not just that we're saying this is a good thing. Data actually shows, history shows, that women in leadership leads to better outcomes for people. When you ask me about inspiring women, maybe I'll answer in two ways, if I can have two answers. The first, to your question about a politician, I might point to our current US Vice President, Kamala Harris. She has an incredibly inspiring background. She comes from a multiracial background. She has fought for justice her whole career. She has fought to combat corruption her whole career. I had the great honor of working for her in 2020 when she and President Joe Biden were working to be elected. And one thing I saw from Vice President Kamala Harris at that time was a commitment to listening to everyone's stories, to understanding people's lived experiences and to translating those lived experiences into better policy. And someone like Kamala Harris really represents, I think, the hopes and dreams of girls worldwide that they can make it to the higher echelon. So I'm quite inspired by her. But here I would use an opportunity to differentiate between politicians and public servants, because not all of our public servants came up through electoral politics, right? And here I would offer that my friend Julie Chung, the ambassador to Sri Lanka, the U.S. ambassador to Sri Lanka, is a woman. She has been a career member of the United States Foreign Service. And what that means is that she has worked as a career diplomat to make this world a better place in all regions of the world. So all of you here in Sri Lanka have a friend and partner in our U.S. ambassador who is a phenomenal woman leader, and I'm quite inspired by her as well.